friends, welcome back to my channel, 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲. I really hope that dryer doesn't get in the way of today's video because that would be annoying, but I can't stop it. So today's video is going to be very fun. It's going to be a new series within a series that's really fun and really confusing though, sort of. Not really, trust me on this one, just trust me. Okay, so today's video starts a new little tiny series. I'm gonna call them tiny series. That works. That's cute. We're gonna roll with it. So this is gonna start genre guides. So genre guides are kind of like author guides. I will link a couple of author guides in the description below. But author guides are videos made to help new readers who have never read a certain author before. That's how I knew how to get mostly into Casey West, how I knew how to get into better 𝐬𝐨𝐜𝐿, how I knew to get into Stephen King, more of his in-depth books. So I wanted to do more of a genre guide base. So it's not just one particular author, it's all kinds of authors in one particular genre. So with that being said, this is how all these genre guides are going to go down. So each genre will start out with giving the title of the genre, of course. Now, there are subgenres within genres. So you can have genres within fantasy, you can have genres within science fiction, you can have genres within contemporary or genres within YA. You know, those will be separate videos. Not every subgenre is going to go into one smackdown video. That's just way too much work and way too much to comprehend into one video. So keep that in mind. Next will be examples of famous authors who have written. This is a really short section. It's famous authors that you may have known, maybe you've read or have just heard of, you know? And if you haven't, don't worry, there is a section of suggestions that we'll get to. Don't worry. I got you. Your girl's got you. The third section will be who is this genre for? This will be just a short tidbit telling you about if you should read this or not. I'm not telling you to read this or not. I'm not saying you can't read this genre because you just don't deserve to read it. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is maybe you're the type of person who doesn't like this type of genre, or you just don't find this type of genre intriguing, so maybe it's not for you. These are just little things to know so that you know if this is a book you really want to pick up or not, if you want to waste your time with it. That's something that I like to know myself, so it's just helpful. So keep that in mind. I'm not telling you can't read something. You may just hate every single thing about this genre, but want to pick up a book in that genre anyway, so lower your guns. lower the hangs, okay, on me. And then lastly, we'll have suggestions, of course. We can't have any kind of book video without suggesting some books, of course. So we're going to be suggesting, well, I'm going to be suggesting, why do I say we? I'm the only one in here right now. I'm in my grandmother's cat under the bed. I'm babysitting it. I'm cat sitting it. But it's a baby. Let's just be real. Back to the video. Focus. Freaking focus. So this is going to be suggestions of books in the genre that I think anyone can read. Maybe you're new to it and you don't know what book to pick up. Maybe you've been reading the genre for years and you just want a new read. I got you. Girls got you. Kara's here. Rest easy now. Let's get into the video. First genre, let's go. So the first genre is YA contemporary. So what is YA contemporary? YA contemporary is modern characters facing modern problems in a modern society. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. To break it down, these characters are usually YA based, so young adult, usually 13 to 17, sometimes younger, but you're aiming towards middle grade. Sometimes older, but you're aiming towards new adult. Those are different videos, trust me. So, YA contemporary, you're gonna have modern problems. That means nothing based with problems from the 1930s or the 1800s, nothing facing from the year 3000. Jonas Brothers, calm down, don't come at me. I'm not going to be sued today. As with modern characters, these are characters based in today's society. Now when I say modern times change. So what could have been modern in 2001 is a lot different than what is in 2019. They still all categorize under YA contemporary. However, keep in mind that not all the times are the same. So when you're reading a book, remember to think of when it was written, to think of, oh, they're using a flip phone? That doesn't sound very contemporary. Well, you gotta remember it was written in 2006, so they had razor phones back then. You gotta remember that. And in modern settings, it's gonna be, of course, in the modern times. It doesn't have to be in just the US, it could be in any country, but they're usually in modern years, within the 21st century. Usually. Sometimes in the 20th, but usually the 21st. mostly, yeah. That pretty much sums up what YA contemporary is. Now on to some authors that are famous in the genre, authors that are famous in the genre. So some authors you're going to find in this genre include John Green. He is the author of books like The Fault in Our Stars, Paper Towns, Abundance of Catherines. These are all books that take place in modern times with modern problems with modern solutions. Although not all of them have solutions now that I think about it. Sorry. Next author we have 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲. She is very, very famous, which you may not know this, for writing the Princess Diary series. This is a humongous book series. I think it's like 12 or 13 books now. It may be even more. But this inspired the TV movie adaptation of the Princess Diaries starring Anne Hathaway Part 1 and 2. So, it's great. I've read the first two. Pick it up. It's great. But she's an author in the YA contemporary. You may be thinking, princesses, fantasy. But it is categorized under YA contemporary to an extent because it does take place in modern times with modern problems. It's a girl learning she's a princess. And she's not like fantastical either. She's just learning to be a high schooler, going about her life, you know? So, the books are much different than the movie. Trust me. Trust me on this one. Trust your girl. And then lastly we have Sarah Dessen, who's famous for writing books like Just Listen, Along for the Ride, and The Truth About Forever. Truth About Forever is probably her most famous one yet, and I've yet to read it. You can go ahead and stone me now. I'll accept it. Yeah. Put me in like with the rest of the people who haven't read it yet, and then we can do like a Handmaid's Tale thing, just stone each other. That would be really fun. Oh my god. So who is this genre for? This genre was mostly aimed at young adult readers, aged 13 through 17. I'm 19 and I'm still reading it. My sister's 27, 26, I don't know, something like that, and she's still reading it. It's a great series, a great genre to read. There's great series within that genre, there's great standalones within that genre. You don't have to be that age to read it. Trust me on this one. So those of you who want books that are carefree, or are lighthearted, are romantic in a sense, a lot of these are romance, so just bear with me on that one. And aren't too serious of stories. Keep in mind some of these are pretty serious. John Green is very serious. And this genre might actually be for you, so go ahead and pick a book up on it. Trust me. Also, if you're someone who really likes realistic reads and doesn't really care for fantastical worlds or open worlds with very big building and character development, this is also a genre for you. If you're someone who likes the big open worlds and a big character development and huge thick novels that are Stephen King size and with talking about a character for 12 pages, this may not be for you. You may not pick up another genre. Just saying. So, yeah. But overall, this genre can be for anyone. I mean, it's great. It's quick reads, they're lighthearted usually, and they're just fun overall. I mean, you can't go wrong with a good YA contemporary. Again, you can't take it too seriously. What are you gonna get out of 300 pages, you know? So, and it's just fun. Pick one up. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. So now is the part of the video where I give you some suggestions on books. We are already 11 minutes into this video and I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible because I have a huge freaking pile here to show you. And just stop with this. I have pigtails and they're really messing with my head. I can't, they feel weird, but yeah. I was reading a lot of Harley Quinn comics the other day and I was like, let's do Harley's pigtails from the new comics, the new 52, let's do it. So keep in mind with these books that some of them can be also classified under different genres. A lot of books are like that. You can classify them under multiple different genres. Nonetheless, a lot of them are classified under YA contemporary. All of them are. All of them are. Gotta remember that. Difficult sometimes. My brain. So the first two I have to mention are from an author that I actually mentioned earlier, and it is Casey West. This is gonna glare with that light, so. This one is P.S. I Like You and By Your Side. P.S. I Like You is about is about a girl who ends up accidentally, she writes song lyrics on her desk in a classroom. A guy ends up writing back. The song lyrics and finishes them, and they start writing letters back and forth on that desk. And she has to find out who her secret admirer is. It's very lighthearted. It's very cute. Casey West is known for her lighthearted contemporary reads. There's hardly any problems, hardly any conflict. I think there's like one conflict in all her novels. Like each book has one major conflict and that's it for each one. So it's very short. The font's huge, but it's cute. It's very romantic. It's probably one of her more fleshed out novels, I'd say. The characters are more developed in this one than more of her earlier work. Well, this is one of her earlier works. More of her later works, I feel. So, because I read this one and then I read Lucky in Love, and this one just felt more developed than Lucky in Love in my opinion. That was just me though. So, definitely, you know. And then By Your Side is kind of the same concept. Romance, not really any problems. This one's about a girl who gets locked in a library with a guy who she has no intention of dating, and she ends up feeling for him. She has feelings for him, and you know, yeah, so she's stuck in a library with him for an entire weekend, and as a love interest. It's pretty cute. It's great. So they're lighthearted. I mean, any of her books are great. I'm looking at your faces, but they're very, I mean, when you read a Casey West book, it's pretty much a formula. So you can pick up any of them, and you're getting the same thing, but they're all still really great stories, and you can zoom through one in a day. So, great books. Anything by her, pick it up. So then I have a particular book by a particular author, because I've never read anything else by this author. My bad. But I have Save the Date by Morgan Matson. This is a book about a girl. First of all, that's a cute beagle. That is the most adorable beagle. So, this is about a girl whose sister is getting married at their house. Why would you get married at your own house? That's just asking for a huge mess, I'm sorry. But, so, her whole family's coming home. She's really excited, but anything that can go wrong is going to go wrong with this wedding. So, it's very funny. Very, very funny. And it's lighthearted as well, but it's very romantic, and there is a lot of problems. It's not just, oh look. I have an uppercase note. I forgot this is an uppercase read. That means it's also signed. It's cute. So this is a book that's gonna kind of pull at your emotions, but it's not like John Green pull at your emotions, you know what I mean? So it's a great book. It's for anyone who's wanting a good laugh, but also wanting romance. A lot of these are romance, like I said. Yeah, so great book. Pick it up. You won't be sorry. Then I have another uppercase. This is not sponsored by Uppercase, believe me. The one time they did give me book boxes, they were all contemporary except one. 2 out of 3 were contemporary. So I have The Way You Make Me Feel by 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲. Now, this is the only, I lied, this is one of the 2 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲 books I've read. So this one is about a girl who is kind of got into some trouble at school. So she is being punished by having to work on her dad's food truck for the summer, and through that she's working with her enemy, her number 1 enemy on that food truck. And so it's kind of romantic, not really, but it has to do with the food competition, it has to do with enemies to friends. It's lighthearted, but it's very tropey, and that's another thing about YA contemporary. You're going to get a lot of tropes in these kind of books, but it's great overall. It focuses a lot on the Korean culture. 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲, I don't know if she's Korean. I'm not really sure, I don't want to make assumptions. So, but this book is focusing on a lot of Korean cultures, and it's really good. It teaches you a lot about the Korean culture, which is rare for a contemporary read. They don't really bother with teaching about different cultures, but it's a good overall book. I suggest it for anyone who wants to expand their contemporary reading into something other than just straight romance, because the romance isn't the main focus of this book like a lot of other ones. So, yeah. So then I have 2 books that I kind of struggled whether to put on this list or not, but I'm doing it anyway, so fight me if they're not. I have Dumplin by Julie Murphy and the sequel, or companion novel, Puddin' by Julie Murphy. Why did I have to look? It is the same author. Are you serious? I can't do anything right, so yeah. So Puddin is about a girl. No, Dumplin is about a girl. Are you serious? Dumplin is about a girl who, bullying Dixon, who is a little bigger than most girls. She's a self-proclaimed fat girl, and I love that self-proclaimed fat girl. Like, I feel that. So she is entering a beauty contest to maybe show up her mother, just a little bit. So it's a lot different than the usual contemporary reads of straight romance, straight, happy, straight love, whatever. So it's very different. It's a lot of problems about weight and self-esteem and accepting others, and there's a lot of bullying going on in this book, and there's drag queens in this book. I love that. I love drag queens. So it's great. And I just, flipping through it, I see some of my favorite quotes. Oh, it's so good. So Julie Murphy is probably one of the best writers I've come across in a long time. So she's actually, I feel with this book, she's helped pave the way for a new generation to learn to accept themselves in their bodies and to love themselves for who they are, which is amazing. So, and of course, this deals with another character that goes on in this one, so I'm not going to talk about this one because I might spoil this one just a tad bit. So, just a little bit. The next book I have is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. This, it's a darker YA contemporary. So it deals with a lot of suicide and depression and anxiety. So very big trigger warning on this one. Very big trigger warning. But this follows Finch and Violet, who are two kids who meet while both are about to jump off the school bell tower. That sounds really bad, like a bad way to meet. So, but they end up talking each other down from the tower, and they end up having to do a school project together. And it's all about learning to cope with the feelings we have all inside of us. And it's very expansive for a YA contemporary. Emotional, very emotional, and again, trigger warning. It's not for everyone, but if you can get through it, it's very good. It's very, very good. So, this helped me through a lot when I was younger. So then I have We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallach. This has fingerprints all over because it has a weird, like, cover. I don't know. So, this is about a town. This is from multiple point of views, and the world's about to end because a meteorite's coming. Now you may be thinking, that sounds very fantastical. Not really. I put it in the contemporary section just because there's a Bill Nye video that explains it better than I could. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, if you've seen the Bill Nye video, you know what I'm talking about. But that's why I put it there. So it's about the world ending, and it's, I think they have, how long did it, my nephew drew me that. Oh my god, I still have that. It's cute. So they have 10 days till the meteorite comes and destroys the Earth. And so, yeah, it's just about all the characters dealing with it, tying up loose ends. It's pretty straightforward. That's pretty much all I can say about it. It's a great, great story. I flew through this. I mean, I wanted to finish it because it was just so good. And I wanted to know what came next. And I found out this guy is a singer in a band, and the album goes to this. Oh my god, it's so good. Just saying. Listen to the album if you read the book. So then I have Anything Could Happen by Will Walton. This is my self-proclaimed favorite book of all time. If you could not tell, I have tabbed it to death. This is an arc. I ordered it offline and I got an arc. I don't know why. That's the way it came. So, okay. It's also signed, which is really funny. So I got a book point from him, right? So I talked to him. I had messaged him about questions about, I had a book to the end about this book, and he gave me the answers, because I was really cheesy when I first read this, and I was like, I want the answers. And he's like, here are some answers I think, but I can't really give you the answers completely, because even I don't know the characters' endings, because I'm not these characters, I just wrote them. So it was great. I have the emails still saved, and I'm gonna frame them, and they're so cute. So, but he sent me a book plate. This is to the sweetest Will. And then when I ordered this copy, it was already signed. So I had to put my book plate over top of that signature. I don't know why I did that. I was young and impressionable, and I did it anyway. So there's 2 signatures, one on the bottom of this. I may one day cut it out and then glue it into like a hardcover copy, because it's not very sticky. It's kind of stuck on there, but not really. So this book is about a boy who is, I think it's his senior year. I don't think it really even says. So it takes place over Christmas break, and it's about a boy who is learning to accept himself for being gay. And in that, he has learned that he's in love with his best friend. Yikes. So the main character is Tretch. I'm trying to find some quotes that I think are great. So, hold fast because life is fast. That is on my board over there. I have a chalkboard that's written on it. So Tretch is in love with his best friend Matt, and the book is all about him coming to terms with that. It's a great story. It's LGBT based, but it's YA contemporary. Great story. I don't care if you don't like YA contemporary. Read this freaking book. Tell me what you think about it. I think it's on Kindle. I'm gonna check right now. I know for a fact it's on Audible, and you can go use my trial link below. Get that freaking book and read it. Because I've read it. We need to talk about it. We all do. I mean, it's great. I mean, gay, straight, cis, trans, it don't matter what you are on the spectrum. You need to read this. You'll have a new appreciation. What am I looking for? Anything could happen. Okay, Libby doesn't have it, sadly. My library doesn't. So sad thing about that, I first read this when I had a library copy. Sad story, and they may be watching. Holy crap, I'm gonna be really upset if they are. I don't care. So, I really don't. I got a copy of this from the library, and I had an ex who I was like, you need to read this, right? I let him borrow it. I told him to get it from the library, and he did, and he never returned it. Maybe he did and someone else checked it out. I'm not really sure. Someone else checked it out or something, or he didn't check it. And it's not been returned, and I'm angry. So I'm planning on buying another copy and donating it to the library. Because I did that for another book one time, and they put it on the shelf for me, because I was like, someone else needs to read a book. Read it, okay? I am destined to make every single person read this book. And I'm mad because I've yet to read I Failed a Funeral in my brain, because I'm scared it won't be as good as this. So, just read it. It's based on Georgia Southern style, and it's great, and I love Georgia. And the best part, I'm ranting about this book. Where this is from, the Avid bookshop in Georgia. I drove by this when I was on vacation one day, the bookstore. I drove right by it, and I was like, maybe I should stop at that bookshop and just get a book or something. I was like, man, I don't really have the money. I should have went in. He works there. I should have went in and got my copy personally signed. Now I'm angry. Whatever. It don't matter. So, it's fine. Whatever. So the last 2 books I have are from the first author that I talked about on the authors of the genre. And it's John Green, of course. Why could I not mention John Green? By the Faulkner Stars and Paper Towns. If you don't know what these are about, you're slacking. So, the Faulkner Stars is about 2 star-crossed lovers. They both have cancer. It's not funny, but it's like the concept is so cliche now. Like back then when I read this first, I was like, oh my god, cancer. Like I read this in middle school and I was like, cancer, I can't believe this. They're dying, I can't have this. And now it's a good book and it's just like, blah 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 blah, cancer. No, like, cause it's just so cliche to me. I don't know why. It's just like, the way that's evolved into such a trope now, it's like people feed off the cancer stuff now. Like 5 feet apart, that is, I want to read it, but I don't know if I want to. It's just, I don't know, it's just, I'm kind of fed up with that trope, but it's a good book nonetheless. Back then it was a really standout book. It broke the barriers of the genre, YA contemporary. I think you should read it nonetheless if you haven't. If you've seen the movie but haven't read the book, I think you should read the book. A lot happens in the book that the movie doesn't portray. You need to read the book. So then we have the book that my sister-in-law hates to death and the movie that she despises. She watched it and then hated it. I don't know why. She hates the ending, I know why. So, This is about a boy who his girl that he's madly in love with, who doesn't know he exists, goes missing, and she leaves a trail of clues for him. And he goes all out to find her. That's pretty straightforward. It's cute. What can I say? It's a lot more lighthearted than The Fault in Our Stars, I will say that. That's all I can say. That's all I have to say. So, it's definitely a book though worth reading. Don't read the books are all worth reading. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. That is all I have for you in today's video. That is the end of this first genre guide. What the heck? So that was so cool. Maybe I'll do more of them. If you guys want to see more of them, let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, remember you're beautiful, you're wonderful, and you are loved. Bye.